Alright, timestamp. It is May 28th, 2025, about 11 p.m. I'm being. Do you want me to do this? Do you want me to do this? Is this what you want? Is this what you want? Is this it right here? You about out of your mind? Okay. I'm being summoned by Mr. Scrappy Acorn. We apparently need to go out back and explore the mysteries of physiology. This is terrifying to walk under all the time, by the way. Don't touch this. Walk on the left side. Yeah. Good stuff. So obviously, health check wise, again, I don't think it's the COPD. I keep having that little, this is gross, but it's true. I keep getting that cough where you got that little bit of phlegm right in that gag place in the back of your throat. You know, it's not like sunk in my chest, but it's in that place where you cough a couple times, you don't produce anything, and you feel the urge to yak. You're like, you know, been happening all night. Upside, it's not in my chest. Bad side, I hate throwing up. I hate throwing up. I'd make an awful bulimic. I wouldn't be good at my job at all. Check the burn barrel. He's looking around for that rabbit. You go for it, Elmer. Yeah, he is a Beagle Shepherd mix. At least that's the running theory. We know Mom was a Beagle and Dad wasn't. And he's got Shepherd markings. So, and he is talkative. Once I start doing more filming inside while I'm working and whatnot, it's like a baby husky. But trying to do my due diligence and checking in more often. I mean, you know, I can draw a full deep breath and all that, but I feel that tickle in the back of my throat. I think, and I can hear that not quite Betty Davis aspect going on with my throat, but you know, I've smoked 3 packs of Pall Malls and I'm looking for some whiskey or gin. You know, that kind of thing going on. Yep. The mosquitoes are out tonight. Yay! We're pretty much on one of the lakes over here. I'm not sure which lake this is, but I know in the region we called it Leonardo. Hey, there's a mosquito floating around. Yay! I will key you. The reason we called it Leonardo, because our house is in an area where, like, all the, as he goes running across, I don't know what he's doing. All the streets, I think they suddenly had a lapse in creativity, and all the states are like named after presidents and stuff. We're like right off of Washington, so we were calling our house George, you know. And in this one, we're in an area, and I've noticed this. Ooh, I think I heard the bunny. Pasco County, where entire areas are named after, like, an animal type. There's one area of town where everything for context, that is a frog who is enjoying either the clutter on the lanai or the swimming pool, which is a nice shade of nuclear green. Hard to say. But there's one area not too far from here where everything is named after deer or deer-like creatures. Antelope, reindeer, and where we are, everything is named after turtles and tortoises. So, and there is actually a turtle lake in the area. There's like 3 or 4 lakes in the area. I don't know what all their names are. But not actually, and I'm sorry, Mickey, if you're watching this, I'm not actually a big, they're enjoying the pool. And they should. Say hi to Kermit. Not actually a big TMNT fan, although I played the hell out of the 4-player video game when it was in arcades way back when. But because we were calling our house George, we were trying to keep it, because when you say, I'm going to the house, well, which one? You know what I mean? It was easier just to, like, name or label them. We were already calling our house George. So, this became Leonardo. But yeah, there's like Tortoise Run and you get the idea. You done? You good? Yeah? Okay. So, and because I'm a Star Trek nerd, I thought it'd be fun to call it Leonardo Station. I gotta do cookies. I've got one of Dad's Chihuahuas here, the healthier one. He's running over here. He just does puppy pads because my dad was kind of lazy and wasn't really walking him. So it's almost pointless unless he really wants to go outside to play. Gently. There you go. Acorn, move on. Move on. Thank you. Tanner. There you go, little guy. So I'll trot his happy little butt out of here. Now something funny that's happened is... Alright, so I've got 2 of my cats with me. I've got Jinx and I've got Hex. Hex is kind of an alien. He's my 7-toed tuxedo. Jinx is my black cat. He was born on a Friday the 13th. And he is this guy here. There's no clawing his way up my leg. So what's been going on is I've been doing cookies, after the dogs walk. And Jinx is giving me this forlorn look from across the room. Jinx, don't let Acorn intimidate you. Acorn, go. Hey. Right there. There you go, buddy. So, yeah, that's the stuff. To me, this is hilarious. So, that's my dad's landline phone malfunctioning. I got a plan to make that work better. So I'm walking the dogs, or the dog, depending on whether or not Tanner wants to go outside and play. And I come back in, and that's Tanner saying, piss off. We come back in, we do cookies. You know, positive reinforcement and all that. And Jinx is sitting across the room staring at me like, where's mine? So I told Pix, and Pix picked up a couple, like, just the Temptations, I think they are. Just little bags of cat treats. And yesterday I started giving, because he'd come over, like, expectantly, like, you know, you got anything for me? I'm doing the right thing. Do I get a treat? No. And I when the dogs went away, I gave Jinx the cat treat. And within the course of, like, 36 hours, he is lining up with the other two when cookie time happens, and it's hilarious to me. But yeah, no, Hex may be an alien. Hex doesn't do table scraps, treats, anything like that. I can put down, like, raw salmon, and he'll attempt to bury it. The other cats are like, let me at that. And he'll look at it, kind of shake his head, and walk over and start eating kibble. It's like, dude. Did your alien instructors not pay attention at all, because you're really outing yourself for this behavior? I'm on to you. I know you are not of this world. You have outed yourself. This is all you. But, yeah. So I got some work done today. There was a dining room table filled with Mishivana. Just for you, Pam. And the boxes that are stacked on the chairs now, that's all stuff that has been brought over for me to go through. I've got the dining room table in the living room now set up as like a sorting station. The table's still pretty clustered, but I got the banker boxes in so we can start trying to sort. So my mom has, because we've got a huge amount of stuff we'd like to try and sell in a garage sale. And our location's horrible. We've tried it a few times over the years, and nope, no traffic at all. My mom has dishes and plates and whatnot. She could seat 300 people. You know, and 2 years ago I told her, I'm like, look, she knows I like to cook. She's like, you've got everything you'd ever want. And I'm like, she's like trying to talk up my inheritance. And I'm like, yeah, I've got everything I could ever want, times 5. This is excessive. No one needs this unless you're opening a restaurant. It was funny because one time I said that and she was like, do you want to open a restaurant? I was like, no, I do not. And this is excessive. The only way I would open a restaurant would be if I was actually opening up a small, because I've always wanted to do like 24/7, not 24/7, but you know, more like a 350-day-a-year haunted attraction. And if I did that, I know there are some places that have like permanent haunted attractions, and they've got like food courts, and they'll bring in food trucks and stuff. But I'd actually want to set up kind of a little nerd haven kind of thing and have a kind of a themed restaurant, not necessarily attached as in dependent on, but they could complement each other, you know, because to me that would make sense. And I know about restaurant management, so that's not like so far out of my scope. But yeah, no, Mom, I don't know. It would be a huge package deal if I was opening up like a plaza, you know. That's something I actually talked to the guy, the main guy that we dealt with when we were running the hobby shop. Because they had, I think, 6 units in the strip, and they always had like 3 or 4 dormant. which is part of, I think, why they finally sold the place, because they couldn't get it filled consistently. I think at one point when I was there, they had like 4 units out of 6 filled. They could never get like that last one or two. And I did talk to him about, hey, there already was a restaurant there. It's like, haunted attractions can be good money and they're a lot of fun to run. And we were already doing a theater, so we had a lot of local talent on tap that enjoyed performing. You know, we got some technical people that could probably help me with the effects and whatnot. Um, Plus, I've got a lot of set design experience and whatnot. And you're basically making, kind of not really interactive, but sort of interactive sets that people walk through. You know. And we actually talked to the owner about possibly maybe doing something in concert, because he had a little bit of money bankrolled to where he might have been able to like be the producer. Nothing ever came of it, but it was a kind of something that we were batting around like a ball of yarn. It was a this could happen. But yeah, I don't plan on opening a restaurant. No, not today. But yeah, I've got, like metal baking casserole pans. Do I use them? Yeah, I'm really like, I only use stainless anymore. I've tried stainless and I won't go back. But like a good lasagna pan, I've got 20. I've got 20. Having 3 or 4? Okay, yeah. That way you've always got one clean. And if you're hosting something, you can actually have all 4 in the oven, 2 by 2. Because we don't have a like industrial restaurant oven. We have a normal oven. But yeah, I could see having like 4, but I've got, I think, over 20 of that. Yes, it gives me variety to choose from, because I'm only going to keep the 4 that I would normally use, but the other 16 are pointless. You know what I mean? So a lot of that kind of stuff is going to be garage sale. As I made her a promise that I wouldn't start selling stuff until after she was gone. She's gone. And I guarantee Dad's not doing anything with it. No word from Billy today. I need to call him at the VA and see if... Just remind him that my dad is studying the security aspects of the home he's in, the adult facility he's in, which is worrisome. Because if there's an 84-year-old with dementia out there that can figure out how to bust out of a place, it's my dad. It's my dad. He's not as tech savvy, but he's mechanically savvy. So the computer stuff may daunt him, but he understands the electronic side of it, if that makes sense. So I don't need a password. I can open it up and short circuit it. He's that kind of training. So that we need to get him somewhere that'll be better for him. I think he would thrive in a community where he's hanging out with other old vets. I think he'd do great. And I'd love to give him something of a second chance, as it were. Because his life with Mom is done. But he needs to be in a facility that's made... It's going to sound... Well, maybe it won't sound horrible. He needs to be in a facility that will keep him in. That's the part that I thought might sound horrible, but now that I think about it, I'm like, no, I've told you guys how dangerous this could be. You probably get that. Um, but I need some place that understands how dangerous that situation is, and also where he could thrive, maybe a little bit. That'd be swell. He's earned it. He's earned it. So, but yeah, just napping on the couch, getting up, doing stuff around here, taking my medicine. Watched a couple of the new season of Doctor Who today. I really like Ncuti Gatwa. I like him. If you're going to do a more modern Doctor Who, because Doctor Who does change through the years, if you're going to do a modern Doctor Who, that's how you do it. Yeah. And don't tell anybody, but science fiction's woke. Can't believe how many comments I've seen over the past 10 years where people are like, "Man, when did Star Trek become so woke?" You, sir, are an idiot. They had a black female officer on their bridge. And in the original draft, Gene Roddenberry wanted a female first officer. Yeah, it just recently became woke. Okay. I guess that would appear as woke to someone who hasn't been paying attention and is therefore in a coma. Maybe that would appear woke. It's 1966, guys. Yeah, it just became woke. Okay. Alright. Well, yeah, clearly. Anyway. Yeah, science fiction is, by and large, going to be a little woke because it asks those what-if questions, and it involves typically a more universal worldview. So, it's frequently going to be woke. Yeah, stick to Jersey Wives. Stick to that. The over-the-top reality silliness. You'll be much more happy there. Anyway. I'm tired, I'm exhilarated, my throat's a little raw. I feel like I just did a set with Michael Bolton. Making progress. Getting there. It's still a 2-year process. Hopefully. Man, I'd love to be able to cut through this in a year and a half, but I am not optimistic on that. Every time I turn around, I notice new and exciting things that are just out of control. And I know a lot of it's because of my dad and the dementia, but I'm seeing more and more things that are 70% fixed or 90% fixed. And I know my dad, 10 years ago, my dad didn't have a problem with completion. You know what I mean? There's so much stuff that's just almost safe or almost done right. Just this little tweak will actually, straighten it or attach it correctly or what have you. I don't think he's had the wheel for a while. The monster has. Weird. If you haven't dealt with an elder in that situation, you just don't know. Anyway, I'm going to cut it off here. Yeah. Make it a great day.